Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, good morning. So how is it going? Nice to see you again this morning. So inshallah we are going to have History of Indonesia class again. And then how is it going with you? I hope that everything is okay with us. May Allah always blesses us in doing our ibadah and doing everything that we are going to do. The positive one first. So remember, keep the spirit of improvement in everything, improvement in our ibadah, improvement in our skill of life. Yeah. Okay. For today, inshallah, we're going to talk about the resistance of Indonesians toward VOC. Right, for short. So let's go to the next slide. Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ready? Yeah, first we are going to focus on the resistance of Indonesians towards VOC. I would like to start from the resistance of Mataram Sultanate. Actually, the background of this resistance done by Mataram Sultanate are as follows. The first one, VOC ran a trade monopoly which prejudiced the indigenous trader. And then the second point, VOC refused to confess the sovereignty of Islamic under the leadership of Sultan Hamengkubuwono in 1613 up to 1645. And then the third background of this event is VOC was considered as a hindrance for Sultan Agung in manifesting his ambition. So he has a great manifestation on the people of Mataram, on the Mataram Sultanate. Okay, and then you can see the main figure in Mataram people resistance towards VOC was Sultan Agung, who attacked VOC in Batavia twice, in 1628 and 1629. But actually he was failed in his mission. And then the governmental of Sultan Hamengkubuwono finally chose to cooperate with VOC in 1645 and 1677. It's really sorry for that, and not all of people, not all of the figure in Mataram has the same vision of Sultan Agung Hamengkubuwono in fighting for the people of Mataram, having their own trading process. Yeah, so really sorry for Sultan Hamengkubuwono that he finally chose to cooperate with VOC. Okay, now we go on to the next resistance. The second one done by Banten Sultanate. Then the background of Banten Sultanate resistance are as follows. The first one is the competition of trade with VOC in Batavia. And then the second one, the VOC terrors toward the politics of Banten Sultanate. So VOC will had done anything to get the monopoly of trade in Indonesia, especially on spices. Yeah, and then the figure in Philippine here, led by Sultan Ageng Tirtayasa in 1651 up to 1682. The resistance of Sultan Ageng was felt also when his son Sultan Haji chose to cooperate with VOC. So it's not talking about any other figures, but you can see. So actually, Sultan Ageng was a great figure that put himself forward to make resistance, but his effort was broken by his own son, that is Sultan Haji, who finally chose to cooperate with VOC. It's really sorry for that. And then the resistance of Banten itself was still continued by Kiai Tapa and Ratu Bagus. Okay, now let's go to the next slide. We come to the resistance of Makassar Sultanate. Do you know him? You know this picture? Who is he? So he is Sultan Hasanuddin. Yeah, the background of trade monopoly policy (VOC), especially on spices. You know spices such as ginger and so many else. Yeah, which cutthroat make suffer to the Makassar people. And then on the 18th of November 1667, there was Bongaya Agreement, which was signed, and then this agreement consisted these points. There were 5 points here. The first point is the Sultanate of Goa Talo, which acknowledged, the Sultanate of Goa Talo, which acknowledged trade monopoly of VOC. And then the second point in this agreement, the Western merchant or trader, in spite of Dutch, prohibited. So they were not allowed to trade in the area of Goa Talo Authority. And then the third point of this agreement is the Sultanate of Goa Talo. Sorry, I haven't make it had paid the cost on war. And then the fourth point was VOC was excused to establish bastions. Rotterdam bastion is the kinds of bastion that is used for the army of VOC, for example, the warriors of VOC. And then 5, the Sultanate of Goa Talo must acknowledge the sovereignty of Bone Kingdom. Okay. So referring to the picture above, you can see I want to have a glance explanation about him. This figure led the resistance toward VOC, and his complete name was Sultan Hasanuddin. He started his action from 1653 until 1669, and then he was famous on his epithet. Everybody called him Ayam Jantan dari Timur. Okay, and then he was the king of Goa Talo who refused the monopoly and colonialism of VOC in Makassar. Okay, that's about Makassar Sultanate. Then we go to the resistance of Pattimura. I'm sure that you are familiar with the name of Pattimura. You can see the picture above. This is the painting of Pattimura, who led the war against Dutch in Maluku. Maluku were described with their machete and shield that covered covering themselves in a war, in a fighting. And the shield called what's that? Salawako. Okay. And then you can see here there were some points of background on Pattimura resistance. The first one, they didn't want Dutch came to Maluku anymore. And then in 1810 up to 1816, East Indies or in Hindia Belanda includes Maluku dominated by English. So English dominated all of this area, I mean. And then in 1817, Dutch came back and dominated the authority in here too, in Maluku. The oppressive rules were applied, such as culture souls, or we can call kerja paksa, and then the monopoly of close trade. Okay. Patimura was succeeded in dominating the castle of Dorset and the Vergic, and his persistent resistance made the governor of Ambon was forced to ask for the warrior help from Batavia. And when his warriors were caught and died one by one, finally Patimura was caught and got execution, hukuman mati, okay, in 1817. What a great figure. Now we go to Prince Diponegoro. The background of resistance done by Prince Diponegoro were as follows. The first one is the intervention of the Dutch colonialism government of on the government affairs of Yogyakarta Sultanate. So the Dutch colonial government always want to be involved in the government affairs of Yogyakarta Sultanate. And then the second one, the official of Sultanate treated as the subordinate of Dutch colonialism government. So everyone that is in the government of Yogyakarta put as the subordinate only. They were not really allowed to do all the things without any acknowledgement from the Dutch colonial government. And then the third one is the determination of some taxes by Dutch colonial government and Yogyakarta Sultanate, which made the people of Yogyakarta suffer. So this condition made the Yogyakarta people suffer. And then the settle of pacts of road construction line, which skip the acknowledgement of Prince Diponegoro. So the Dutch government settled some pacts on road constructions. This one is belong to Dutch, and this one is belong to Yogyakarta government. So like that. But Prince Diponegoro didn't know that. So they made it without any acknowledgement from Prince Diponegoro. Okay? You can see some figures affiliated in the resistance of Prince Diponegoro. So there were some figures helping Prince Diponegoro in doing the resistance. They were Prince Mangkubumi, Santut Ali Basya, Kiai Mojo, and Nyi Ageng Serang. Okay, then we go on. We are still talking about Prince Diponegoro, and then the Dutch colonial government applied Stelsel fortress tactic, which was succeeded straighten. Straighten, it means that Prince Diponegoro and his warrior couldn't do anything. They couldn't make any move. Yeah, and then the resistance of Prince after Diponegoro was ended after Dutch colonial government arrested Prince Diponegoro when he was having a negotiation, and he was being exiled to Manado, ya, diasingkan in Manado in 1830. And you can see here, this is the picture. This is the picture or the painting created by Nicholas Prienman, which showed the arrest of Pangeran Diponegoro or Prince Diponegoro. This is the shorts, okay? Okay, that's all my little explanation about our topic of lesson today. And finally, we comes to the final one. I have little work for you. So I give you class project. You may choose one of these. I want you to make a short narration on the resistance of Indonesian figures toward Dutch colonialism. And you may choose one of them done by Prince Imam Bonjol or Aceh Figures or Sisingamangaraja or kingdoms in Bali or Banjar Sultanate. Okay, so you may choose one only. You shouldn't do all. Okay, so I think that's all for now. And then if you have any problem or you have any difficulty or you have something to be asked, you can let me know. We can discuss it in our internal group in WhatsApp, so we can discuss it together. Okay, I will also remind you that for your previous project, if you haven't collected it yet, so you may collect it, because inshallah in the middle of this month we are going to have a middle test, so you've got to think about it. You need a score, right? You need a mark. So I think that's all. Thank you so much. Sorry for the unperfectness. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See ya. Have a nice day.